Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Race to Overtime 2, or essentially what it is 2 laps of the game, and what we're going to be doing is collecting as many time dots as possible early on. I'm going to miss those actually, not intentionally, just because I missed them, but it's fine. We'll get onto that in a minute. Basically, the reason I've done that is, well, the loop there is some quick time dots, and we do need time dots to be able to finish that second lap because we can't get extra time in the second lap of the game. Why has this gone so much better than all the others? Yeah, so essentially that first loop that I skipped is one of the first ones where it's not going to progress us anywhere, but it does give us time dots. I've missed that one. Good thing is we do just recover the time dots there. What I am going to be doing is I'm going to be playing mini games, and mini games, except like this one, I'm going to go quiet here for a little bit, just to make sure I get as many points as possible. Each point is 1 second on the IGT, and 50 plus will be nice here, but it is RNG dependent. We'll see how we fare. $89, very, very good, thank you. Yes, that's really nice. I did actually mess it up there. I got very lucky RNG. You might have noticed that the cars were just not going in my lane. That was incredibly lucky. Good news for me, I guess, because Laser Racer, which is the minigame I just played, is one of the quickest minigames in PinOut, and gives us a massive time boost at the start, puts a lot of the pressure off of us to make sure we have enough time to finish the run. I'm going to grab power-ups, although they're slow RTA, they do pause the timer, and especially time freeze will literally pause the in-game timer. I'm going to miss those dots. I didn't intend to, but that's fine. Normally we would go in the different path to make sure we get those. You know what, we're falling back now. That's not great, but it's fine. Normally this is the route we'd do, so we'd do the left ramp there. Get on those time dots, and then there we go. Yeah, so essentially, good question, Laurie. So this is not AGT, this is RTA, but for this run we are paying attention to the AGT because we need to make sure we have enough in-game time to finish the game. Now here, I would rather in Race to Overtime 2, because we don't need all of the time dots, I'd rather just take these long ramps, to be honest. You can take those short ones if you're not. If you're struggling to finish an entire lap of overtime. I'm just going to catch the ball there, and I'll get onto that in a minute. Catching the ball is very interesting in this game. It's not always beneficial. In places like that, it can be, but the game has these line markings in the floor and makes it a lot easier for us to time certain things. Time freeze is fine there. That's okay. Yeah, so the line markings slow the ball down to a manageable speed, and... Oh, I missed it. Whoops. Yeah, it doesn't sound ideal in a speedrun, but it makes the game have a lot less frame perfect stuff. In fact, I can't actually think of anything that's frame perfect in this game, which makes it a very welcoming game to speedrun, in my opinion. I have not had a great time freeze here, I'm going to be honest. I should have got a bit more with that, but that's fine. We do get another one later, and I'll explain how it becomes useful later on. Does it reset your credits when you change your name? Yes, I can transfer credits over, yeah. If you just give me your old username. And I'll do it after the run. It will combine the totals, so that's fine. Yeah, so here I could take the right ramp, and it's going to give me a quicker path, but instead, deciding to go left there, that's fine. We're going to get IGT for it anyway. And here we're coming up to the second laser race, so it's literally the exact same game, but in a different area, so it's a different colour. Again, 50 plus would be nice. It's not important. I can finish a Race to Overtime 2 run without getting any points on any of these laser races, but I am going to be playing most of the minigames. However, there are going to be some slow ones that I'm going to try and skip because they're fairly slow. I'm going to quiet down here again. 66, not bad, not bad. Played one Race to Overtime, but not done 2. Yeah, 2 is a lot harder, so really when you're starting out, this is more of a challenge run, if I'm honest. And I'm going to explain why these 10 flips are quite crucial. We can, if we're going by IGT, we can actually fall back here So I'm going to grab the right one here. I'm then going to try and get the right side. There we go. Actually, I can't remember if it's right or left side, but it doesn't really matter too much. Quite far behind on the splits, but that's okay. What we are going to be doing is falling back, and the reason for that is because we can then instantly grab the other 25 time dots on the checkpoint, and that is a massive quirk of Race to Overtime 2 that you do not see in regular any %, because there's no reason to fall back unless you accidentally fall back. But here we're after quick time dots, and although they're not that quick because we have to waste our time falling backwards, they're quite safe for a marathon, so it's nice to be able to do that. And the good thing is it's another 25 IGT. Yeah, so we're coming into this area. This introduces cannons to the game, and I do have a power-up motion link, and you'll notice the timer is slowing down whenever the ball isn't moving. I don't like motion link that much because it doesn't really slow the timer down very much for what it does, really. There are other better power-ups, like Time Doubler is a really, really good one. So I should talk about exactly how much IGT I need to complete a run of this. So any % can be as little as 7 minutes. If you don't have, if you don't use push, it can be about 8 minutes. If you play really, really well. But realistically, we want to have at least, 10 minutes to be able to finish this safely. So 10 minutes of IGT, that's 600 seconds, should give us enough safety to finish a run. We're getting time freeze again there. So power-ups, different power-up orbs have different guaranteed power-ups. So you might have noticed I skipped a minigame in the previous area. We're going to skip another one. Oh, sorry, in this area. We're going to skip another one that's in that hidden cave section on the side there. It's pretty slow, and it doesn't really give you any more than about 30 IGT. There's no reason to go for it. I actually should have got the right one there, I believe. I'm going to fall back just to make sure I grab the other time dots. Yeah, so it's actually better to do the other one, but that's okay. What I'll do is I'll fall back, and we will then go on the right side, grab these extra 25 time dots, and we are going to come into Granular Rainstorm. And this is probably the most interesting area in this Race to Overtime 2 speedrun. We're going to be grabbing time dots, very, very open area, actually. But what we do have is a guaranteed push power-up, and although it's a bit risky, I am going to go for Granular Rainstorm Cannon Skip, which saves a little bit of time, not very much, and when you're starting out, it's quite difficult because, not the actual trick, but because you skip a ton of IGT. So if you're doing a Race to Overtime 2 run, you're going to be quite far behind on your in-game time requirements, really. I'm going to skip another minigame there. We're going to find that one later on. I went in the cannon and somehow didn't get stuck. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, we're then going to come through, and you might notice I've still got push going into the next area. That doesn't really happen if you do the cannon, because once you do the cannon and you get into the bumper section, push will actually only be used when you are when the ball is moving. When you're holding the cursor, or when you're holding essentially one of your fingers or thumbs on the screen, that is when push is not being used, the duration of the power-up. That is why push is such a short power-up duration compared to the others, especially Time Doubler. Time Doubler is massive, as we've got here. So what we can do is essentially bypass the cannon, just go straight through, and it saves a couple of seconds, I would say, but it also saves a little bit depending on how much extra push you get in the next section. I am going to go back round again here just to make sure I grab this third laser racer. It is a quick enough minigame for us to play it. I understand that's the only minigame I've played so far, but we'll show off one or two of the others later on if I feel I'm running out of time. We did get quite fortunate getting an 89 earlier, so that has put me in pretty good shape. I'm going to stop talking again here. Very important to do well. $72. Got a little bit cursed by the RNG there. Getting a double where you have to switch left to right really quickly is not ideal. Here we do have enough time dots really to take these long paths. Unfortunately missing there. That's a shame, but that's fine. Good thing is we are going to still grab some IGT, so it's not as costly as in any %. Gonna grab a power-up again, not ideal. Oh, we got push, okay. Well, we're gonna be experiencing more of this power-up. So, if I was running any percent, this would be a lot more crucial in that run. Now, that right side there actually has 35 time dots, but me having push, I've decided to just zip through. And you know what? That is absolutely okay. I'm gonna keep on going here, and you know what? I'll grab this power-up. Sorry, this mini game. Why not? Just to showcase it. Here we go. So this is quite a slow mini game. So normally I wouldn't really go for this in runs, but that's when I'm playing quite risky with the timer. I do think this is quite a safe timer, purely just from the laser races we've had. The laser races have been really good in this run. And this could still PB, actually, which would be very nice. Now, I should mention this is not actually an official category. This is not on SRC right now. But I think it's pretty cool. There is a score percent category, so technically you could have 28. Not amazing, but that's fine. Yeah, so technically you could have a run-off race to overtime too that gets 16,000 score, and you could submit it to the leaderboards as a score percent run. But unfortunately, this is not on the leaderboards right now. Any percent is the only main category, and we've also got a stage 1 IL. That's it really, but I decided that this is interesting enough to submit. We're gonna skip that power up there. Power ups, as I mentioned earlier, they're always fixed, so they're always gonna have the same ones. And it's not really worth it that much. I think it gives you time freeze as the best power up in my opinion. And it's not really worth me going back for it right now, to be honest. Ironically, you have to fall back, and then if it takes you more than 10 flips to then get back up again, it's then not worth going back for it. So I'm just going to decide to not do it there. Now, the red balls here can get in the way, and in fact, they actually can make you fall back into the previous area. Thankfully, we're not getting that happen here. A lot of the time, you seemingly have no control over where they send you, but thankfully they were kind to us here. So lots of cannons in this area. Although this is still 1,000 points, this is a deceptively short area. It's up there with Source really, and Source is definitely the shortest one. So here, quite tight. We're going to try and go left side into that cannon there. Very nice that we managed to make that. And here I'm going to try and take this left ramp, not managing to do it. We are stuck. Thankfully, there is a tilt mechanic, but I can't activate it. The game will have to do it. I can't do anything to cause it to happen. In fact, I don't know whether this is actually going to work. Eventually, it should do something. I might even try and flick one of the red balls into it. There you go. There it is. So that's a bit unfortunate there, but whatever. Not really much I can do about that. Quite rare to get one that takes that long, actually. So the gates can be quite awkward here because you have to go up into the open one, but also make sure you're the other one's still going to be closed. There you go. Oh, I'm behind on the splits. Whoops, I don't know where that happened. I'm going to have to do it there. So that is... I think it was from the skip. That's fine. So we are 3 minutes ahead, actually. Ignore me saying I'm behind. I'm not behind. I am not charging my laptop. I don't know how I'm going to plug in my laptop during a PinOut speedrun. Let me try and do that now. Let me try and grab in my feet. So yeah, this is essentially the end of the game. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, so we've already done one lap of the game. We're now going to do our second. And I am going to need to plug this in ASAP. There we go. It's in. Okay, so, yeah, we're now sitting the exact same game again, but this time no power-ups, no mini-games, just purely playing the game. Now, interesting mechanic to this. This is not just classic any percent. Classic any percent would obviously include mini games. Why have my splits froze? Nice one. I'm gonna have to retime. Is chat all okay? Because I don't know why my splits froze, but either way, we're gonna just leave that and carry on. So, I'm only doing one run of this today, so it's not the end of the world, but I am on decent pace, I know that. So, yeah, the main reason that this is affected is, or this lap is affected, is the no push. All the other power-ups don't really make much of a difference because they only affect the IGT. Yeah, chat looks like it's all okay. Nice. Yeah, so when we get to Granular Rainstorm, we'll have to play the game normally without using push. Hey Jules, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. So unfortunately we can't do Granular Rainstorm cannon skip again. I can't do anything with my live split, it's completely broken. So that is what makes me want to have a little bit more time. You probably need to add on about 20 plus seconds at a minimum for not having push in Granular Rainstorm. It really does make that much of a difference. It is a very, very good power-up, especially in that area. It's almost as if it was designed for that area because it's... yeah, live split's broken. Nothing I can do about it. Yeah. It's almost as if it was designed for that area because it's such an open area. But thankfully we can play it normally, and it is quite radically different, to be honest, to play it normally compared to using push. Because if you do get a little bit unlucky or you mistime something, you are going to have to fall quite far back, and they're actually quite an interesting section. Normally there is a power-up orb there, and if you grab the power-up, you will instantly go into the bumper straight to the next section. Here we don't have the power-up, so you have to go through the middle gap to make it through consistently. If you go around the sides, they will normally, unless you're going at it with a certain speed, they will send you straight to the other side and have to do the flip again. So going through the middle is the only option there, really, consistently. Coming into something beneath 2, and we've still got 400 seconds. That's plenty of time for us to finish a full run. Now I will retime this, and it will probably, to be honest, be in the title if I manage to finish this, because it's definitely on PB pace. Could just try and become the mod and add the category. Yeah, but that's a bit disingenuous to just become mod just to add the category, because you kind of have to add other mods in agreement. There is only one active mod right now though, so if I were to suggest it, I would get into contact with them. I am not getting very lucky with this. Yeah. I've only got through twice here, and it's just not rebounding me anywhere. Okay, right, we're through. We're fine. So be patient on that cannon. And we are coming towards the end of this area. We're going to go on the left side here so we can use the cannon. Accidentally gone left side, but that's okay. Getting a nice one straight through that flipper there. And interestingly, that loop there after that cannon that we just went through, that's one of the only parts of this game where there are no line markings in that section. So it's I keep pressing my split button, forgetting it's not on. There are no line markings there, so it's actually really hard to make it through. That was a really lucky bounce. We unfortunately didn't make it all the way. Sometimes you can get a little bit lucky in this area, and it would save time to do that. So here we're going to notice that there is no power-up orb. So we're going to have to play the game according to the arrows on the floor. We will basically always follow these. So this is where the power-up would have been, and we would then be playing the game with push for a little while. Here we can then just go straight through. That's very nice. That doesn't happen very often. So come through here. It looks a little slow. We have to go left, then to the right, and then to the left again. We just have to make them up next month. Yeah, true. Could still get on a game show yet. Alright, so bumpers here are actually quite powerful. They often are too powerful, so they actually send you flying and not really where the game intends you to go, which is unfortunate. Don't split, it's not working. So yeah, carrying on. We've got over 4 minutes left, plenty of time. This is the third to last area. So this is area 6. And here we are able to just go on the right side there and go straight through. And you are able to make that right side with that right ramp with the right side flipper, because when you reach these sections, these barriers and things, they will always be on the same cycle. So it doesn't matter how fast or slow you are in previous parts, they're not on a global cycle, thankfully. And here we can also go right side from the right ramp. Very, very nice to hit that. It's one of the more precise things again in this run. So coming through, we've got 3.5 minutes left, and taking these long ramps here, there's no reason for us to be taking the short ones. This is literally a replica of any percent now. And coming into this final area, a little bit faster to do the left ramp, so that is what we're going to be doing. And we now have the red balls to deal with again. So this is one of the more difficult sections. I don't believe we saw it in the first lap, but basically at the end of this section, or this area, is a part with no barriers. So there are barriers on the side right now, but there are also some gaps where you'll fall off the map. If you fall off, you do respawn, usually where you just were. But at the end of this area, there is actually only one checkpoint for 3 sets of flippers. So it's pretty much one of the hardest things to deal with casually, I would say. If you've played this game casually, you will definitely know what I'm talking about. Because you do need to time it fairly well to actually make it through. Probably one of the harder parts of the run, leaving out Analog Apotheosis. Analog Apotheosis is really just the end game rather than a difficult bit. So this is the checkpoint. And yeah, so this is PB pace, so I'll retime it after this. But we're going to come through here, and we're going to go left side because it's just one straight ramp to the end. If I do right side, I have to do another flipper. And we're in the final area. We've got 2 minutes remaining to do this area. I'm glad I did a couple of extra mini games, because that will be quite nice for marathon safety. And I do have the estimate quite high compared to PB, just for that reason. I'll probably do 1 or 2 more mini games in a marathon, to be honest. Plus that gets to show off all of the games. To be honest, I might do all 4 mini games just to show them all off. Or it can be a donation incentive, really, to show off all the mini games. That's another option. If not, we will always show off Laser Racer. So it is possible to do this, I believe, without any mini games, if you are really, really good and optimal with your time dots. But I am not doing that right now. And plus, it's a lot quicker to just play 1 or 2 games of Laser Racer and ensure a win. So, 75 seconds left for these final cannons. Time is coming up on the last cannon shot. And that is time! That's got to be a massive PB. And my goal is sub 25 in this category. So, very nice to get it in a commentated run. Thank you so much for watching. This will go up on YouTube if that's a PB then. I need to retime it. And I'll have the splits... well, I don't know. They'll be on my splits.io, and it'll be somewhere. I don't know. It'll be on my Speedrun PB sheet. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.